He's 26-28 and 10-23.
And that is Vandy and Kentucky.
Yeah, and
They're the only two teams that are worse than us in
There are
conference.
races that you don't want to be in.
And that's
And there's company that you don't
that's
want
a
to keep.
list.
Right, and there you have it.
Yeah.
And here's his here's his record from his first year at Arkansas: 0-8, 2-6, 5-3, 3-5, and obviously so far 0-1. It's just, I thought it was pretty surprising to kind of see more of the same. I mean, this has been like what, 4 straight A&M games where it's been kind of back and forth.
Right.
I mean, we had a 14-point lead again and lost it.
We did score in the second half this year, though.
We did score in the second half.
Game. That's been our problem. We couldn't score late.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I think I could tell Bielema was feeling it that entire game. Like, there was at no point in that game where he felt good about where he was at. I think he could see that he had some holes, and he was extremely uncomfortable with what was going on throughout the game. I mean, just some of the penalties. I hadn't seen him kind of bend over at the waist, hands on the knees, like, oh my goodness, what is about to happen here?
And it's you gotta. And here's the thing, because here's what it comes down to, is that other than the win-loss column, he's doing everything the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right. And so you kind of want to pull for him because of the situation, because of that case. You know, the way he's, he's disciplining his players, the way he's graduating guys. The mantra thing. You feel like these guys are coming away as good representations of the program, as individuals, as people, as young men. But in the grand scheme of things, he's ultimately judged by, what you do. Do you win game?
Right.
I mean, and that's, because you get talking about, comments around winning at all costs by the AD and things like that.
Yes.
Well, it's like, okay, yeah, cool, yes. Nobody feels like you should win at all costs. You should win at some cost.
Yeah.
Right.
So
don't
to
all
that,
schools win at some
yeah,
cost?
at some cost. There's
So
something
so
against
to
it,
that, the one thing I've always kind of wanted to ask you guys, and I don't think I ever have, what is your expectation win-loss wise here at the University of Arkansas? Like, if you were to say, you know what, I feel we should be around here. Maybe we have a 4 or 5 win season, but and this is why I ask. I'm an Iowa fan, diehard Iowa fan. Went to the Penn State-Iowa game last night, if you're wondering why I'm a little hoarse. Mm-hmm. But my expectation for Iowa, just because, and I think Iowa plays in the same sandbox that Arkansas does.
Okay.
Ohio State, Michigan, those guys have in-state talent. They don't have to go outside the state sometimes. Mm-hmm. And just name recognition, they're able to go get that guy in California. They're able to go get that guy in Florida.
True statement.
A lot of that, too, is here in the SEC West. Alabama, Auburn, Texas A&M just being in Texas. They don't have to go outside Texas at all. Ole Miss, I mean, supposedly, I heard a couple people talk about this, and I wish I could remember names, but Mississippi is a little, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I mean, I think they got some guys within the state, but it's, House is giving me the little kind of look. But anyway, to my point, what I was trying to say, it is difficult to get that in-state talent on the regular.
Oh, yeah.
And when I mean in-state talent, I mean that 4 or 5-star guy consistently.
Yeah. No, I see exactly what you're saying.
And Iowa's the same exact way. Iowa may have those 3 and 4-star guys, but their player development, I think that's where Iowa is just better at this point. They can develop that 3-star guy to be that All-American lineman, that All-American tight end, whatever.
Yep.
So my expectation at Iowa every year, I'm okay with 8 or 9 wins. And if they sprinkle in a 4-win season, so be it. There's probably an underlying reason: new quarterback, new offensive line, new coaching staff, something along those lines. Arkansas, my thought on Arkansas, 8 to 9 wins. What do you guys think about that? Just because of the things that I say.
You got a born hog,
okay,
and a guy who chose to be a hog.
Right.
So this is gonna be interesting.
So that's why I've always wanted to ask that question. So I'm saying, what is your win expectation? Are you saying
just
I'm okay?
In general, no matter what the year is.
Yeah, I'm saying, okay, I'm okay with winning 9 games a year, and then 1 year we have an off year and we come back to 8 wins, and then we're consistently 9 again because I got maybe a junior quarterback for 2 years or something along those lines.
I would expect, right? My expectations is it's tough for me to just say in general for no matter what the year is, I expect X amount of games. I mean, it's just too difficult of a because me, and you could probably say the same thing, G. Having been close to the game, there's so many variables to determine wins and losses. So it's tough to say, this. But I think the expectations right now so let's just take the fan base. I think their expectations should
It's a national championship. It feels like.
Well, now I don't believe they honestly expect a national championship every year. But I think the expectation is they should be somewhere in that group. You got Alabama, and those teams that contend for the championship, the West, the conference, and the national championship every year. The expectation is that we're somewhere in that bar just below that, right? Just a notch below, right? We should only lose to those teams that eventually play for championships or contending for at the highest level. I think the expectation in general is that that's where we are, and we're not. No, we're not there. We're solidly a middle of the pack in the conference period type of team right now, right? Yeah, is that right, wrong, and I mean.
So let me ask you this.
Let's take our track record.
Right. So when you guys played, what was your guys' win-loss season?
We were there.
Mm-hmm.
That's freshman year. Then we were back there.
Seniors?
That's every what?
So what was your
3-4
freshman?
years.
What was your freshman year?
Yeah, true freshman year, 98.
That's when
we were.
Clint
Was that
Tripp.
Sterner
Yeah,
at Tennessee? Okay.
We were 8-0 at one point.
Division,
I won't bring that up. Sorry.
Yeah. West Division, West Division champ, co-champ that year.
Yep.
Right. And then had some ups and downs.
So who was your guys'? So was that Sterner's senior year?
That was his junior year.
So he was back your guys' sophomore year.
Yeah.
So then what was your guys' sophomore year? So just go through your wins freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
So we went 9-4.
Okay.
9-4. No, we went 9-4 back-to-back years, didn't we?
Yep.
9-4, and then we had because then we have like a 7-win season in there.
One of those years everybody got hurt.
And then we had the fallout year where we were 6-7. We went to Vegas.
That's what I'm thinking about.
And then our senior year, we went back to we were 9-5.
Did you guys both redshirt 1 year?
Yeah,
Yes.
but we did. I redshirted my second year. I played my true freshman year and redshirted as a sophomore.
Okay.
And then we were 9-5 our senior year because we went 9-3, went to the SEC championship, lost, and then went to the Music City Bowl. Lost.
Oh, Georgia! Oh,
so we're 9-5 that year.
Who was that?
So
I'm so tired of hearing Bubba Sparks.
Yeah, I know.
It's getting ugly.
Yeah. So 40 wins over 5 years we were there.
Right.
Easy math, that's 8 wins a year. Right. So
is that a reasonable expectation?
Reasonable?
I think 8 is very reasonable.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable.
Me not being from Arkansas and coming to this state and not having that, Arkansas was not on my radar in high school until being recruited. Right?
Okay.
So nationally, it was not that school, and I know schools change over times, but to build it up to 8 wins, I think we built the program up. The program was at 8 wins again because I want to say when we came in, it was off a 4-7 season, two 4-7s,
back to back.
So you're talking about we never lost in Little Rock, going to a bowl every year. So I think 7, 8, 9 wins. I think our program was there. I do think we were
should
there.
It still be? Should it be there?
And it should be there.
Should it be there right now? Yes, absolutely. I think when you talk about the pedigree, the resume that Bielema brought in coming in, right? Consistently in the Big Ten champion, in the Big Ten conversation, right? A couple of Rose Bowls coming in, right? You expect that at least some form of that to be equated to the SEC, especially in these last few years where it's quote unquote been the depiction that the SEC has been down.
Yes,
especially in those years, should the expectations be
not to give Bielema a life jacket. And I said this when he took the job. His timing is different than, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm a Razorback, but if if 98, 99 is now, I don't know if Arkansas can steal me from TCU or A&M or Baylor 2 years ago.
Say what?
So Baylor, he's in a different position, whereas when I came out being a Texas athlete, A&M was irrelevant. Baylor was irrelevant. TCU was just
getting started.
U of H was irrelevant. University of Houston. SMU's irrelevant. Now they're relevant. Even Oklahoma State. He's dealing with a different recruiting in Texas. It's totally different for him now.
And he's probably got the best college football coach in history in his division.
Which he would have been at.
Ever.
We called him at LSU.
Yeah.
So when he did get one there. So he's dealing with that and recruiting. I think he can't get some of the guys that he can probably normally get in Texas. Maybe.
So to House's point earlier, where should you be to Alabama right now? That tier below, correct?
Yeah.
Auburn. Okay.
Well,
Auburn.
Everybody is, right?
Yeah, everybody. I mean, at this point.
Right. Everybody's on the
Save
tier.
those few years, the LSU was kind of right there, and then you think about it in
Florida,
the East, Florida.
So so in that upper tier, I'm just gonna say in the whole SEC.
Mm-hmm.
In the whole SEC, who would you put in the upper tier? Alabama?
What this year?
No. Just period. Just period. Period.
So think about the teams that have won national championships in the SEC.
That's
Alabama, Auburn, LSU. Right. So upper tier, period.
Yeah, and then you got on the East. You think about some of the success.
What about Florida?
Florida had. Yeah,
would you put Florida in the upper tier though?
Traditionally,
and historically, yes.
Okay, what about Georgia? Georgia. Okay, so that's 5.
All those years, Mark Richt won the SEC divisions.
Still can't believe they fired Mark Richt. Okay, so 5 teams in the kind of the upper tier. Okay, so then would you say your sandbox is Ole Miss, Tennessee? Okay,
you want to be there.
Yeah, and I mean that's where A&M. In that middle of the pack, you got and then you have that lower tier where you have your Kentuckys that have been traditionally struggled as far as football is concerned. Vandy struggle.
Obviously at the very bottom.
Mississippi State, with the exception of 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought here towards the end we had a pretty good discussion. I always get kind of curious with that because I look at Arkansas, and people are going to hate me for this, and fine, I don't care. But I see Arkansas a lot like Iowa. They have the same issues with recruiting, with player development. But that's where I think Arkansas needs to just thrive. They need to be able to get that in-state Arkansas kid that's a 2-star, that's a walk-on, that's whatever, and coach him up and develop him. I think that is one thing that